Hey, this is Josh from the RPM Podcast. Like our show but hate Eric Brennan's New York accent? Well, follow us on Facebook.com/RacingPodcastNJ, and he promises to lose it.
What is love? Love is the absence of judgment.
Lady, don't hurt me.
Apparently the Dalai Lama said that.
No more.
Welcome back to the RPM Podcast. I was reading out loud.
He's met Fernando Alonso, actually.
The Dalai Lama?
Yes. Yeah.
That is the best segue ever. Nick Rendo, Sam Ballard Jr., Eric Graham, and Josh Matthews.
Who cares?
And
all right, Grandma.
About what? Who's here? Or
no,
that Alonso
who cares about
the Dalai Lama?
Donna Lama, whatever her name is.
Happy Ash Wednesday, Sam.
His thing. What's wrong with you, Sam?
What's the deal with Fat Tuesday, by the way? Are you really supposed to eat everything?
That's a Spanish thing or a Mexican thing.
You're not supposed to eat everything. You're supposed to wait till you're married to eat
Mardi
certain
Gras
things.
thing, isn't it?
No, no.
Right.
Jesus, Sam. On that note, Nick Rendo, we've been talking about this all throughout the day in our little production group chat, if you want to call it that. And I'm kind of excited to hear what you have to say about. We saw the final couple of cars get revealed by the end of the weekend, and now testing has begun.
Yeah,
and it's been wild.
Day 3. So yeah, we released all the cars, and yeah, it's pretty wild to see how much longer, wider, and faster they are. And the consistency theme between the cars seems to be the shark fin. And it was interesting to see how Ferrari actually had 2 rear wings. They had another little wing like kind of off the shark fin, and then when we got to winter testing, we saw that 3 other teams copied them. I think it was Williams, Mercedes, and somebody else, right? I think it was Haas. Somebody else copied them. And it's interesting to see that Mercedes actually didn't end up going through with the fin. They have like a little quarter one, but they're the only teams that don't have it. So that's pretty wild to see. And I always like judge aero off of the Red Bull because I feel like they have the best aero just because Adrian Newey's like such a genius with designing aero. So I know that we were talking about the winter testing. So right off the bat, what do you think so far?
You said you had this whole long thing to go into.
Well, I know, but I want to get you in on it.
I think
try to engage it a little bit, ever so slightly.
I think there's a lot of cat and mouse being played right now, so I know you're all excited because Ferrari's doing very well. I think Red Bull's really hiding, and then I thought that to start with, and then today a story came out where Red Bull admitted to that they're sandbagging right now. So
that's pretty wild. Yeah, on day 1 we saw that Mercedes and Ferrari, I think we're in like the 120s, right? I think they're about there, and everybody else is about maybe 2 seconds back. But I thought it was interesting.
Haas has been surprisingly fast.
Yeah, like top 5.
Yeah.
I think it's surprising to see that, you know, Mercedes is on like the ultra soft and Ferrari's on the softs, and still there's like
just today for
2 tenths between them. I think it was yesterday too. But it's pretty wild to see that. He's like, But the bigger underlying story between this is the pole position set at Barcelona for 2016 was 1 minute 22 seconds, and now in winter testing they just hit 1:19, whatever tenth it was, which is incredible that in winter testing they're already 3 seconds faster.
And, you know, Nick, you pointed out last week that you thought, you know, winter testing would put us right about where they were last year.
Which I'm blown away.
Yeah, and then about race time, we'd be in that 5 second or so faster window, when we've already eclipsed where they were last year.
I think they're going to be faster than 5 seconds. And the reason I say that is, you know, we see practice 1 on a race weekend. By the time they get to qualifying with 2 laps of fuel in the car in Q3, they're, how much would you say, 2.5 seconds faster than they were off the trailer?
Typically, yeah.
Hey,
so this is only the first winter
Nick.
test,
Oh,
so
boy.
they're still going to get faster, and then still faster. By the time we get to Q3,
He's ignoring you.
they're going to be over 5 seconds faster. It's going to be wild.
I'm letting him blow his
What's
load
up?
now so I can smash him.
What's up?
Give him 5 seconds.
What's
5
up,
seconds
Eric Graham?
faster.
So
Yeah, what's up?
let me tell you why this is one of the few times longer and wider is a bad thing. So what's something that all the drivers are complaining about this week?
They all claim that the racing is not going to be as good, right? Or is that just Lewis Hamilton?
Right, why? They can't overtake.
Okay.
And what was I saying? What was Josh saying? You're not going to be able to overtake. Who gives a damn that the cars are faster? They look stupid with a bunch of pizza boxes glued to them. They look like the stupid soccer mom cars. The cars are hideous.
Hold on a sec. I'll disagree
look
with you
amazing.
there. Now, I thought that when Formula One went to the smaller wings and the smaller look of the car, they look kind of funny, you know. And when was that? 2011-ish.
When they had the
when they kind of went
2009,
to
2010, they had
right around there.
Right.
And now I feel like that with the wider car, with the longer car, with the wider tire, and with the higher speeds, they just look a little more racy to me.
I love it.
And
I love it. There's a picture of it compared to an 80s
no,
car.
no,
Like
but they're
no. They look faster.
Right, they do.
They don't. They look less.
sleek. Yes.
They look less racy.
They're not going to race.
But they look a little more challenging to drive.
Racy is
on
a
your
horrible
own.
word to describe
I'm
a
actually
new
going to
car.
go off of what Brennan said. Way more challenging to drive. We heard multiple drivers come out and say that over the winter test, they had to beef up their exercising like immensely to build more
But
muscle.
they're athletes.
In fact,
because there's so
in
much
fact-
Well,
more
it's 'cause
G-force.
I saw
G-forces.
that a quote came out today that
Yeah.
our defending champion Nico Rosberg said that he could see a couple of drivers losing a Grand Prix this year because of not being physically fit
I
enough
guess you
to
saw it too.
maintain
He
the
was
lead.
saying that you have to be like a gladiator this year to drive. It was cool to see him in
Yeah.
the paddock.
You
I
know
think
who
it
this
was
really
today.
helps?
It was today he was in the paddock.
I just want to say that Aaron Lyman agrees with Eric and myself.
That's awesome.
Eric Graham, that is.
I still
That-
like you. It's okay.
I'm gonna
At least NASCAR is gonna be fun.
He says the racing is going to blow.
It's amazing because Graham's perspective is such a stark contrast from what he said a year ago, where NASCAR sucked and Formula One was amazing. Now Formula One's going to
That's
suck and
because
NASCAR's going
Because
to
they
be
Put
amazing.
changed
their
their
mouth.
rules.
Okay, there's an example of this happening. What happened to IndyCar when they put all these fancy aero packages on them? IndyCar is such an amazing product, and what did they do?
I agree, but I think that the
IndyCar was the
increase in-
best thing going, and then they ruined it.
I would say the increase in speed is going to allow for more dramatic effects of things like DRS or like an overtake.
That's not
or
true.
Dramatic for what?
It-
When you're
should.
going that
It's-
much faster, it gives you less
Formula One's
time
not
to
NASCAR. They
it
don't
gives you-
have to pass every lap. It doesn't have to be like that.
Plus,
it
they
just has
probably
to be,
weren't passing that often.
That's
anyway.
right, Nick. It can be boring too.
I got like something in my throat.
So you're
It just has
saying
to be
you're saying this is gonna be an
machines
awesome
running on the
this is gonna be
edge.
an awesome high speed parade.
So incredible.
Well, awesome high speed
Watch
parade.
it in slow motion. lean.
Nick
See how
Randall,
hard it is
shut
to
up.
get that
You
chassis to
are a
lean?
drag racer.
Oh
It's
my
mechanic
God.
porn. That's what you're into.
He's a drag. He's not a racer. Nick Rendo, did you just say
up,
that
man?
you don't have to
I'm a
race in
three-time
Formula
champion,
One?
by the way.
Yeah, no one gives.
Congrats,
no one
you
gives an
freaking lazy.
No, I
SHIT.
think. Hold on a second.
I'm a heat race winner, bitch.
He's back. The Graham is
Nick
back.
Rendo, Nick Rendo,
It took a
did-
segment to break him in, but he's back.
Did you seriously just say you don't care if there's passing in racing?
There's gonna be passing.
Bull.
No,
There's
hold
gotta-
on a second. I'm going to come to
Yeah,
my
when
voice
it- when it
defense for a
blows
minute.
up.
Gonna be passing.
I'm going to come to my
I
voice
want to
defense for a
counter.
minute.
I want to counter this DRS argument.
I think
When the cars are going faster, that's less time to complete a
I
pass.
think Eric Brennan has some.
DRS is not going to account for as much.
All right,
Yeah, but look at it when you see
I don't
like
believe
Indy
that.
cars or like stock cars run on a big super speedway. The effects of the
Plus, the
draft
cars are
usually more,
sleeker, so there's less of a suck up.
Yeah, but they're a little more. The
There's less
effects-
of a rear wing, which means DRS is going to have less effect. There's not as much wing to push down.
Yeah, but because the car in front has so much downforce,
DRS is
when
not
they take
gonna-
off the rear downforce in the back, they may travel a hell of a lot
Yeah.
faster.
No, I
because
think
the
it'll
cars
there's
are
not
actually-
much of a rear wing. This is what I'm saying.
I understand what
so
you're
when
saying.
it drops,
But if
when
they're going
it
faster,
drops,
there's going to be even more.
it
Wing
used to be
resistance.
like a 6-inch drop. Now you're going to have like a 2-inch drop.
Oh.
So DRS isn't going to do anything.
I have to start drinking.
There's going to be no passing. It's going to be a high-speed freaking parade.
So you mean
It's
to
going
tell
to be
me
a horrible
when
product.
Lewis messes up in qualifying, qualifies 7th, he's going to stay there the whole race?
Qualifying is going to be more exciting than the races this year.
Yep.
Remember,
I
I
feel
said
like
this.
it's always been like that. I will. I definitely will. And I'll be happy. I love it. I love it.
I love not seeing race
You're a
cars race.
weirdo.
Well, but I think what Nick is trying to say, where Formula
Thank
One
you.
is not NASCAR, and that's
I
obviously a
can't.
given.
I can't.
But
In-
you're only a heat
I
race
can't.
winner. He's a 3-time drag racer champion.
I don't. I don't.
That's
have,
amazing.
Hold on a second. I don't have the privilege of being able to interview a Formula One driver, and I wish I could, because
You will.
It sounds like that the cars are simply harder to drive,
I
and
know.
Formula One is the one form of motorsports where I would rather see guys struggle to deal with the cars by themselves on a regular basis than I would to have to see them all bunched up. Because if I did a side-by-side comparison of a race from last year and this year, I don't think I would notice that much of a difference in terms of how spread out they may be or how tough they are to pass. And I'm not going to know until we get to Australia.
Complain,
So, but at the end of the day, if these cars are more challenging to drive for the world's best race car drivers, then
It's
I want to
amazing.
see them.
I agree.
And then I'll be more inclined to watch them
I
during
agree.
practice, during qualifying, and then, of course, during the entire
You know what
race.
I will admit? I think it may be a little bit less enticing for the casual fan, but I think for people who really understand the sport, the
And
mechanics
that
behind
is
it
a mistake.
gonna make
They
it.
want to grow new fans. They're not. It's going to be really boring.
Not everyone's lucky to be Nick Rendo.
Formula One is like
only
the second
very
biggest sport in the
only
world.
they're catering to the teams and the drivers. Anytime any racing organization does that, it fails. NASCAR failed. They're finally starting to come back. IndyCar fail.
Well, here's the thing. Now, you want to talk about, catering to the casual fan. Last week, on a Friday, I went out, for a couple drinks with a few friends, and one of them was my friend Sean, who's
I don't
a
believe
really,
it.
really good guy. His name's Sean Robbins. Guy, we're going to Boston.
I don't believe he has
for
friends.
St. Patrick's Day. St. Patrick's Day weekend.
Goodness.
And he's what I would call a casual Formula One fan. If he happens to be up at 7 a.m. in the morning, he'll watch the race. If they're racing in Japan, he won't stay up till 2 a.m. to watch the race. And I showed him some of the reveals that came out by then already. Because by then, the Mercedes was already out there. I believe the Ferrari, the Sauber was out there. The Force India was out there. The Renault was out there. Right. So I showed him all these cars. And he was blown away by how much more racier they look. Yeah. And when I told him they'd be 5 seconds faster, he was blown away by the concept. I said, look, Sean.
Racier they look.
The racing itself may not be that good. He said, yeah, but who cares? These guys are supposed to be the best in the world. These cars are supposed to be the fastest in the world. I told him Indy cars were rivaling them in terms of overall speed, because they were.
Which they shouldn't
I said, and now, Formula One may have another leg up on them with that. And he said, good, that's how it should be. He said, the races aren't usually that good anyway.
When is he coming on the show?
All you're going to do is hurt drivers, and that'll be the storyline.
So something also for the casual fans.
We're going to redesign the whole car, but we can't put a damn halo on the thing.
That has to do with the United States and media, so we're going to love this, right? So Nico Rosberg was in the garage, and he took a selfie with the car as it was coming out of the garage. It was a big thing, and he said that he's very thankful to Liberty Media for not making the media shutout of the winter testing. Because what have we seen in past years? They always have the garage door closed. The second the car comes in the pits, they barricade it in with what essentially looks like the whiteboards constantly blocking it. And they said that this year there's going to be cameras in the garages for winter testing. And it's so much more open, much like NASCAR, because, they're taking a more American approach to it. It's more of a show, which is interesting
Listening to you two talk about this makes me sad.
Well, what he's bringing up now about Nico, not two things. One of which is with Liberty Media. The other one is with Nico Rosberg. And I did see a couple of Formula One journalists say that they're really happy with what Nico's been doing so far. He's still there promoting the sport. He just decided not to race anymore, which is pretty cool because he's bringing up some really good points. Yeah. And with the whole Liberty Media Group offering more exposure, I mean, look at what NASCAR did. Back in the day, you used to have to hop a fence to get into the Daytona garage area or to get near the cars or near the drivers. I still think IndyCar is more fan-friendly, and Eric, I think you'll agree with this. We go to Pocono every year. Yeah. There's actually a fence that you can't go past if you're there for a NASCAR race, but if you're there for an IndyCar race, you can go all the way up to the garage stall.
Yeah, and NHRA is the same way, yeah.
Right. And on the Formula One side, you used to not be able to get within 100 yards of a Formula One garage stall, like ever, at all.
Even the camera guy, Will Buxton, all those people.
So if you want to keep pace with the other motorsports that are out there in the world, you have to do these things, and it's cool to see that they're starting it off right now in winter testing, and I hope
that's great. TV coverage is going to be great.
Yeah.
It's going to be 20 seconds between each car. It's
which should make the racing more competitive in essence, because we already saw the teams, copying
at least the Saubers are painted blue, so it'll be easy to pass.
And you can see them.
You really think it's going to be that bad?
It's. I'm very concerned.
Can I ask a question? Dumb question, because I'm tired of listening to you guys jack each other off
only
over there.
3 weeks left, folks. Just bear with me for 3 weeks.
No.
And we'll all be vindicated.
There was 22 teams last year, 22 cars. Is it only 20 this year because Manor's out?
Yes.
So there's no
other
team?
It's not NASCAR. It's not like there's another team.
I understand that, but I'm just asking.
Yes.
Because I'm a simple fan.
I understand.
Haas was waiting for a while to get in, and he.
I figured.
The other team owners do have to approve if a new team comes in.
Yes.
Okay.
And I mean, a couple years ago, they improved 3 in one shot, but they went to the expansion, and we're back to square one.
No one's going to want to race it. Well, I mean, why prepare race cars that look fast that aren't going to race each other?
Well, again, and here's
that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter.
No, as long as they look good.
If the TV ratings are bad, the sponsorship's going to close up. Yep. See how
it's
NASCAR
Formula
was.
One. It'll never be bad. It's like soccer in the rest of the world.
It will go down.
Josh, can you just?
And they're trying to open the American market, and this is a horrible time to be doing it.
I understand that. Formula One is obviously very different than that. I mean, look, when you look at a plate racing package for NASCAR, you keep a close eye on what happens in practice. You can't do that for Formula One, specifically in testing, but even in practice for a race weekend. You never see them rehearse a standing start. You never see them rehearse running that close together. And I understand that there are a lot of very, very talented and well-educated engineers who are predicting the doomsday scenarios that Eric, Josh, and Sam are talking about. But I don't think it's fair enough to pass judgment on it until we get to Australia.
And, just to see these
Australia can be kind of a bad race sometimes, too.
Towards the end of the race, they're going to be so physically drained, and just to see them wrestle with these cars is going to be wild. It really is. It's good,
I'm not.
I think more than ever.
It's not that they're not going to be driving hard or fighting the car. It's not so much a question of that. It's just from the. Let me put it this way. IndyCar also generally, I mean, like when you watch a lot of racing on TV, it actually looks like, wow, that car is on a rail.
Well,
Even-
IndyCar has no power steering, so that's a bear.
Yes, and
cool.
what I'm getting to is, I mean, even when you watch it on TV, they still look like, wow, you know, that's so smooth. It almost looks easy. But they actually just put up a visor cam video from Graham Rahal, easy for me to say, at Sebring. And if you watch that video, I mean, it's a great quality. You see every bump, you see it shake. You see how his head is getting thrown forward. I mean,
Every gear shift. That's what I
Sebring's one of the
noticed. His head
bumpiest
just
tracks
flying.
there is, too.
yeah, just
Oh,
just watching him fight the wheel on that, it gives you a whole new
Yeah.
level of respect for what they're
And
doing.
also, if you look at some of the things that people within the sport are saying, like for example, there was a quote from Lewis Hamilton that said, "Don't hold your breath" in terms of great racing this season. But then you look at something what Sebastian Vettel said, and he used the term "fix everything." Both of these stories are from Motorsport.com.
But if you look at Vettel's comments following that, what
But-
he's saying is
We'd say that the
has nothing to do with racing product. Just that the car's faster. You can turn it so much faster, and
Right.
He's referring to the handling of the car.
and he also
not
said
the-
it works pretty much like an aspirin. It fixes pretty much everything. It's difficult to compare to 2016.
Aspirins
it's
don't
a
fix
different
everything.
animal, different beast. Aspirins fix almost everything.
Sometimes you need some Valtrex, buddy.
How'd you know? That was a joke, folks. That was a joke. Semi kidding.
Why are you winking at Graham like that?
Because he's the one who gave them to me. Now, I hate you. I'm so glad you're back. Josh, what's coming up next?
We still got Supercross.
Formula One's gonna suck so hard.
Supercross.
I'm so depressed.
Well, hold on a second.
3
We had
weeks.
it
Just bear with me and Brennan.
You
want to
know what, Graham? I'm kind of resenting you right now. I'm gonna act all hostile because you got Josh and I into F1 last year, and it was pretty
I know,
good.
I'm sorry.
And
I
now all
did
of a-
that.
You
I did
blue
that.
balled me, you son of a gun.
I'm sorry.
I got you.
You're
into
not
it.
sorry.
I got you into it.
No.
Keep thinking that.
Maybe
Brendo.
IndyCar will be better. Oh, the V8 Supercars start this weekend.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, in Adelaide.
Well, it's not real racing because they actually pass each other.
Yeah, I know.
So I don't know why you're excited. You're a simple fan.
By the way, the other thing that we didn't touch on yet, Lance
See,
Stroll.
what they need Formula One to do,
Yes.
what they need Formula, you have 2 lanes, okay? And then the cars go as fast as they can in a quarter mile.
Wait a minute.
This is how you fix Formula One.
I think
right, Nick?
Calm down. We're still about 130 miles an hour short.
You want to talk about the website that was started?
Well,
Yes.
Lance Stroll, who
Aaron will like this.
was one of the drivers for Williams, apparently had 2 separate incidents over the course of the 2
3
days
now.
of testing. Oh, yeah, now it
He's
went
up
up to
to
3.
Yeah,
That's
third
right.
time's a charm.
I'm looking at the counter.
I think the last one he wrote off. And, 3-time Formula One champion Lewis Hamilton did come to his defense and say that it's unfortunate that Stroll's rookie season is going to be in what is probably the toughest time in Formula One ever right now with these new cars. But boy, there's been a lot of people who've jumped on Stroll's back, including a website that was just designed. Eric, I think you got it up right
Has Stroll crashed yet.com.
now. And I saw somebody else refer to him as Lance Stroll Donato in memory of Pastor
Yes.
Maldonado, who's known for tearing up a lot of equipment. But that's obviously going to be a story to watch. I
You
mean,
know-
considering the fact that Bottas is no longer there.
Finally, there's a big jump from GP2 to F1. We haven't seen that in years. It's been too closely matched for comfort, I think, and it's finally,
That's
a
not
big
necessarily
step
true. Like, the racecraft in GP2 to Formula 1
up.
is
If you like passing, you
completely
like
different.
GP2, right?
Yeah, GP2 is fun.
Yeah, GP2.
GP2 will probably be a much better product than Formula 1 this year.
I don't like getting blue balled. And you
GB
totally did that.
2 is
You
fun.
totally did that. No, it is. You totally did, but
Look, watch GP2. We'll talk about GP2 every week.
then they're going to make that wider, faster.
Whatever
Whatever they're gonna do.
I don't think they will.
All right, so Supercross, anyone?
I was on a party bus heading to Hoboken, New Jersey Saturday night.
This the one you got kicked off of?
No, but,
Almost?
Well, yes, but not me. I mean, I was a victim of circumstances. But you know what's fun? I got a phone call at 7:45. Hey, we're getting a party bus to Hoboken. I don't know if I should go. And next thing you know, I'm on a party bus.
Why
going to
would you
Hoboken.
go to Hoboken?
This was.
I don't know. It's like the go-to hangout.
Hey,
spot for
we're
somebody's
going over
birthday
to
party.
Jersey.
They want to go back
That's
there
what us Staten
Saturday.
Islanders do.
So
We go to New Jersey and ruin
Wait, and
everything.
this was Saturday night, correct?
yes,
As in hours before our first live broadcast.
I got home at 4 a.m, and that was after we dealt with the cops. So
This is why I end up doing all the work.
Yeah, but we did well. We did okay. But nevertheless, going there, I only knew like 3 people out of the 25 on the bus at that point.
All the more reason to go.
So I ended up watching the Supercross race on my phone, and I'll tell you, on the 250 side for their second race of the year, Zach Osborne finally got that first career 250 win. And I mean, Eric, you've been watching for a while. Zach's been trying to get that thing for about
41 races or something like that.
Long time for Supercross standards.
Which is like 3 seasons in Supercross.
Yeah, especially in the 250 class because they only run about half the season. And then on the 450 side, Ryan Dungey got himself a win, kind of rebounding his season just a little bit and continuing to hold on to the points lead. But I'll tell you, I was getting giddy inside watching Eli Tomac charge through the field.
Inside the bus?
Yes. Next to.
Meanwhile, I was here packing everything up
Sean?
for Sunday.
There was some
very bizarre.
Listen, there was some very
gosh.
unorthodox things happening on this bus, and I could not take my eyes off my phone. And I was trying to get my 2 friends into the whole thing, and one of them happened to be a Supercross
Dick
fan.
Fish week.
What? No, that was actually today that happened.
God.
Did you just say that on air, Sam? What is wrong with you?
Did you say dick fish?
Oh my god. Poor Josh.
Where's my dump
I
button?
did just say Dick Fish.
What's a dick fish?
Stop, he's going to be up all night.
There we go. I fixed it. Anyway, Eric.
But nevertheless, Eli Tomac, again, got a terrible start, which is something that he's unfortunately becoming known for. And he worked his way up to second. I think he was about 8 seconds back at one point. And by the time the race finished, he closed it to under 2 seconds. So if Tomac would add about 2 more laps, he probably would have got to Dungey. And Blake Baggett got his first podium of the year on his KTM. The point standings continue to show Dungey and Muscan, the KTM teammates, 1 and 2. And Tomac, after having a problem 1 race ago, in Dallas, is now sitting in 3rd in the championship standings.
Cool.
That's all I got.
NHRA?
Yeah, I actually watched it, believe it or not. Clay Millican. I love that guy. I'm upset that he couldn't get past the second round, unfortunately. I think it was the second round.
It's
He might
so
not have even got
fast.
past the first. Oh, my God, you're telling me.
I'm muted.
What is it, like 3.9 seconds, 330 miles an hour, and 1,000 feet? Oh, my God. It's incredible.
In the NHRA
New
side,
record, right? That's all.
we saw 2 drivers get back-to-back wins in the opening rounds of the 2016 calendar, and they include that of Leah Pritchett,
Which is
who
awesome,
won in
right?
Top Fuel, and her and that team have been on fire. Matt
Final
Hagen
round was all girls. It
Yes.
was her and Brittany Force. Really
and
cool to see.
Matt Hagen got the win in Funny Car. We talked about the emotional offseason that he had. In fact, the top speed for Funny Car was faster than that of Top Fuel by almost 2 miles an hour.
Which never happened.
And Greg Anderson got the win in Pro Stock, joining Jason
doesn't.
Line, his teamate, as the sole winners in the Pro Stock division
Shocker,
so far for
Greg Anderson
2017.
wins. Me and my dad were actually looking at the win thing, and I think in front of him were 2 people, and it looks like he's probably going to be, the
Yeah, usually that whole
top of the win
Ken
list for
Black
Pro
team,
Stocks.
that whole Pro Stock team, they're just between him and Jason Line. They usually run the table for most of the year.
Nick, I got a message for you.
What's that?
Right there, if you want to take
Who's
a
that?
look. Don't
I
worry
think
about
Aaron should be on the show.
Tell Rendo he's not a true F1 fan without seeing the movie Rush. I saw it in the movie theater on the second day. And the infamous rivalry between James Hunt and Niki Lauda. Yes, I know the whole story,
Okay.
and I saw
All
the
right,
movie.
no, I
You
just
did see that movie, huh? I'll tell you that
People are watching.
If you're trying to get a woman into racing, Rush is a fantastic movie to introduce them to because it's kind of like a hybrid.
You haven't learned anything.
of-
You and women on this show don't get along.
No, it's hard.
We love
to,
women. We just
We're
have a
off the
funny way
show.
of showing
It's
it.
hard to break somebody into the sport who's not familiar with it.
Yeah.
And Rush was probably one of the best tools that I ever had at
You know
my
what
disposal.
scene I really
You're a
take away
tool.
from that
Let's
is when
say,
he has the hole
tool
in his
for a
glove,
tool.
and you could see because the shifter mount on the shifter fell off, and he's literally just shifting on like the screw part.
Yeah.
And he's got the hole in his glove. He's bleeding, still going. Incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Amazing movie. I
Great
recommend
movie.
you all to see it. And you're welcome for the dating advice, everybody at home.
Yeah, write me in questions.
Don't listen to Eric on dating advice.
Or Nick Rendo.
See,
You'll be getting a lot of fishes
you
in your
need to
future.
take her over the Sizzler, because that's what the bitches love. You go to Sizzler.
Wait, what is Sizzler?
You don't have to get deep here, guys. I'm old.
We don't
Wait,
need
what
sound
is
It
it?
for
doesn't.
Eric.
It doesn't exist
No,
around here anymore.
you take her on a party bus to
It was an
Hoboken.
old. It's like a real cheap, like $3.99 buffet place.
Really?
Yeah.
You take her to on a party bus to Hoboken. You send her a bunch of dick fish pictures, and then you're good to go.
Duh.
Look, is that?
Yes. Yes.
That's right.
Yep.
Wait, what? I don't know what that is.
All right. Anyway,
Is that the filet of fish from McDonald's? Is that? Wait, I don't know what that is.
It's not me.
Not me.
Jeez.
Please send me that.
Okay.
Anyway,
we
I
gotta
think
take a
that-
break because I've lost it. This is probably the worst episode I've ever done in my life.
No, it's not. This is gold.
All right. Anyway, yeah. Same thing for those of you watching live.
Formula
at
One's
home.
going to suck. That's like the key.
Eric Brennan sucks.
I was right about NASCAR. I'm going to be right about Formula One. I come on here once a month. I tell you how it is, and then I go away.
He comes in here, he corrupts Sam, and then he leaves. And then
Anyway,
we gotta have a talk.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
You're gonna have to remove
The
those
birds
ashes.
and the bees.
No, not
At least
that
I got
kind
my
of
ashes today.
all right. Anyway, yeah, folks at home, we're gonna do the same thing again. We're gonna cut out, and then we're gonna come back with another live stream for the local segment. Sound good, everybody?
Sounds
All
good,
right.
Josh. Thank
Check
you.
We'll
your
be back
Facebook,
in a
Eric.
minute.
Forza Ferrari.
It is the RPM podcast.